crap out of my brother and I. Where when it was time to go upstairs, we'd flick the light and spring up the stairs as if demons were chasing us. At 12, I obviously wasn't as scared as I was as a little kid, but I would still look over my shoulder every once in a while when I was down there alone, especially if I was home alone. I was playing whatever video game I played at the time, when bang, there was this crash at the basement window. I damn near jumped out of my seat as I turned around to look at the window. It sounded like someone hit their fist on the window. It was kind of dark out since it was cloudy and snowing outside. I looked at the window and noticed there were some snow particles on the window. It looked like a piece of snow might have hit it. My initial thoughts was that it was a falling icicle hitting the window. I tried to go back to playing video games, but the icicle theory melted when there was another loud bang on the glass. I stood up this time and looked closer at the window. There were even more particles of snow in the glass now. Someone was out there throwing snowballs at the window. I knew it had to be my brother, Keith. I went upstairs into the backyard door. I opened the interior door and looked out through the glass exterior door. The brick wall to the left blocked view of the entire backyard, so I opened the door and stepped into the yard, with only a pair of slides on my feet. The cold snow and air was blowing in my face as I stepped down the 2 steps to the ground level and looked beyond the brick wall. I called Keith's name and said, "Why didn't you tell me you're coming home tonight?" I saw someone in the bushes in front of the back fence. They were clearly hiding. I said, "Keith, I see you." But the more I looked, the more scared I got, questioning if that was actually Keith. I went back inside and locked the door. I went straight to the phone and called my mom to ask her if Keith is supposed to be home. She told me no, he's at his friend's house for the night. Right at that moment, another snowball. I asked my mom if she heard that, and she said yes. I told her there's someone in the backyard throwing snowballs at the windows. She now put me on speaker so my dad could talk too. My dad asks if it's some kids messing around, and I said I don't know. I was just a kid, and I was freaking out. I asked, "When are you guys going to be home?" And they said soon, they're already on their way home. I remember my mom telling me to not let them know I'm home, but I said they already know because I went outside into the yard. So she told me to just wait upstairs in my room with the door locked. She was going to call the police for me. That's what I did. I went to my room and kept the lights off. It was getting darker out, but when I looked out my window, I could still see. There was someone walking around the backyard. They were looking through the downstairs windows. And then I saw them knocking on the kitchen window, the one they threw the snowball at minutes ago. They thought I was still in there because the light was left on. Whoever it was, they weren't a kid. They looked too tall. Maybe they were an older teenager or something, but I couldn't tell because they had a jacket or a coat on with the hood up. I kept watching, and I saw they tried lifting open the window downstairs. Obviously, in the dead of winter, those windows hadn't been unlocked for months. But one thing was for sure, they were trying to get into the house. He then started looking up at the upstairs windows, and that's when I ducked down. I didn't look out the window again. There was a crash at my bedroom window now. He must have seen me. He threw a few snowballs at the windows in my room. Shh. My mom called me back to make sure I'm okay and tell me that the police are on their way. It took a long time, probably because of the conditions. The doorbell before letting the police officer in. It was a lone female cop, probably in her 40s. She walked around the property with her flashlight as I stayed inside and
Throw grenades! Throw grenades!
What the fuck is this body pile? What the hell?
The last thing you'd want in your
Burger King burger is someone's foot.
Lettuce. Or ketamine.
No, ketamine would be great actually.
Hey, no, you're right. Yeah, it actually would be great.
Okay. Hello there, scientist.
Hello. I'm sure you think 200 ping is okay. Good evening.
Oh damn, this song. Probably skeleton. Yes, it is a skeleton.
Mr. Suicide guy, Mr. Suicide, I
Yeah.
wanna have a word with you.
Yeah, what do you want to talk
I
about?
wanna have a word with
Yes, sir. What do you have to say?
you. Whatever, would you, sir,
What? No, sir. It seems you lost your skin. No.
Looks like I finally got some guts.
I'm sorry, bro, I'm sorry.
Wait, you killed Nah, you can't kill Suicide, man. Like, honestly.
Why? Suicide man want to kill himself. Why do we do
You
that?
don't need a loot box to unlock this skin.
Man.
You saw nothing. I was not here. You never saw me.
Follow the man with the lantern. The man with the lantern guides the way. Make way for the man with the lantern.
Oh, that's mean.
Follow the man with the lantern. Look into the lantern. Well, that was peaceful. Hi there, Larry. What would you like to buy? Do you want this bulletproof vest? Okay, you may take it. That would be 1 penny. Do you have a penny? Sir, I'm sorry, you cannot be here. You're not allowed in here. I'ma call the Okay, now it's not just trespassing, that's murder.
Fuck off. We should live closer though.
What the hell? It's a terrorist attack out there.
Please give me one, please.
I have some very important news. There is a fucking Larry in. Okay, well, what do we do in this situation? Crazy?
No.
What do you mean no? You are crazy.
Not crazy. I'm
Yes
not
you are.
crazy. I'm
Yes
not
you are.
crazy.
Yes you are.
I'm not
Yes you are.
crazy. I'm
Yes you
not
are.
crazy.
Yeah, that's not crazy at all.
I dropped my gun.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir. Please stop. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Sir, stop resisting, sir. Sir.
How the fuck do you like that? How the fuck do you like that? How do you like the spawns? Oh my god, how do you like it? How do you like it? How the fuck do you like it, you little piece of shit? Next time I'll kill. No, I'm gonna kill you now. Oh, with my fucking controller. Boom! Boom! How the fuck did you like that? Now you're mommy.
Yeah.
Fuck, bitch. Mommy! Mommy, no! Mommy! Baby! 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 Shut the fuck up, little piece of shit. What? Your mom is dead now. You know what? You know what? Here, look, I'm fucking using her. She's my bitch. She's my bitch. What the fuck? What the fuck? He's touching me. What?
I was on the couch eating, watching the movie White Chicks, while texting a bunch of my friends. I was just in the middle of telling my friends how great of a gig this was, when the intercom beeper gave me a heart attack. I went to go press the answer button, and I heard Jessica's voice on the other end, saying she's scared because she keeps hearing noises. Usually she'd sleep through the night, so I'd have to go tuck her back in. I set my food down and ran back across the yard to the house. I entered through the door with the code lock again and went to Jess's room. She must have ran straight back to her bed after we got off the intercom, because she was already back in her bed all scared. I went to tickle her and tuck her in, just so she wouldn't be scared anymore. When she felt better, I left her room, shut the door, and walked down the hall back to the kitchen to grab some wine. As I was looking for a wine opener, I heard the ever so lightest crack in the wood floor from another room. I froze and looked in that direction, instinctively waiting for a second sound. I didn't want to start freaking myself out now. I didn't want Jessica saying she's hearing noises to get in my head. I was thinking it was a regular house settling noise.
No. I want to know how the story ends.
Okay, just remember, guys, shoot the SCPs. It's really cool.
I can be very highly explosive.
Said both Jessica and James' names at least 3 times each. Now I was actually starting to become terrified. I called my friend Kelsey, told her I want her to come here because
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I told her that the little girl on watch said that she was hearing noises, and then I heard a noise. Now someone pressed the intercom button but didn't say anything. I felt like it was not something one of the kids would do. I was still on the phone with Kelsey, who was telling me to stop being paranoid, but she also sounded drunk. I was looking out the window to the house the whole time I was on the phone with her. The hallway lights turned on. I told Kelsey this, and any ounce of possibility that it was one of the kids disappeared when a large figure stepped into frame at one of the hallway windows.
Yes.
I screamed and dropped the phone as I was looking at a grown man who seemed to see me, and he was looking back at me. I realized the intercom was still on this entire time. I picked up my phone, hung up on Kelsey, and called 911. And as I did, I was crying, screaming into the intercom that I'm calling 911 right now, leave us alone. I was basically screaming everything I said to the police into the intercom. I went back to the window. He wasn't at the window in the house anymore. I would go crying, begging the 911 operator to please hurry up. She kept telling me to calm down, asking me a million questions. I kept yelling the address into the phone and saying please hurry. When she asked are the kids safe, I screamed no. They're in the house still with that man. That's when I heard the scream of Jessica through the intercom. I completely broke down and fell to my knees crying as the 911 operator was still trying to get me to keep it together, but I couldn't. I said I don't know what to do, and she said the police are almost there, you need to wait. He replied he has the kids, and she asked if I saw if the man had any weapons. I said I couldn't tell, but then I heard Jessica's voice speaking into the intercom, saying my name. I went over and shouted, yes, I'm here. Get your brother and get out of the house. She was crying, saying that there was a man in here. I said, yes, I know. Just get your brother and come outside now. It was the bravest thing I had ever done, running outside back across the yard to the house and meeting the 2 kids who were already at the door. I grabbed both of them and led them back.
Fatality.
Yo, I'm so sorry. I pressed another key and hold on. I'll skip back to it.
What
No
are
way.
you doing? Just
I can't
tell
step
the
back.
story, you stupid.
Anyways,
She was crying, saying that there was a man in here. I said, yes, I know. Just get your brother and come outside now. It was the bravest thing I had ever done, running outside back across the yard to the house and meeting the 2 kids who were already at the door. I grabbed both of them and led them back across the yard to the pool house again, where we hid with the lights off. Both of them were crying, and I still wanted to as well, but I had to be strong and keep it together for them. I still was on the phone with 911. She eventually told me that the police are here, that they'll come meet us at the pool house. Those words were the most comforting words I'd heard in my life. The flashlights of the police shone through the windows. I led the kids to the door, where we met a couple police officers. The female cop took the kids with her to one car. I went with another cop to another car. There were already 3 cop cars in the front of the house, and more kept showing up. I was answering all the questions I was asked. They found him. They brought out a guy who looked to be right around 6 foot, who looked at everyone as he was brought out in handcuffs and put in the back of a car. I still remember his face as he looked at me. He looked like the product of incest. His face was messed up. Jessica and James' parents were called right away and made aware of the situation. There was no way any of us were staying there that night. The parents arranged for the kids' aunt to come pick them up to stay with her, and I guess she called out of work. I I went home after they didn't need me anymore. But when I got home that night, I didn't sleep. I was still in shock, I think. I still had a leftover adrenaline rush. The parents understandably didn't leave their kids alone for a long time after that, I'm sure. I do know they pressed charges to the fullest extent, and with their resources, I hope that creep got what he deserved and more. I respectfully told them I couldn't stay there anymore because I was haunted by that night. I could only imagine how scarred those poor kids were, maybe still are.
Task Force Unit Epsilon. India, 15 has entered the facility. All remaining personnel are advised to proceed with standard evacuation protocols.
Weather was still mildly warm during the day. That night, it would get cold. So I came prepared. I brought my portable fire pit, lighter fluid, a lighter, and an axe for chopping wood. I also, of course, brought a tent, a sleeping bag, and my fishing gear so that I could fish at the lake. I brought enough food to last the 2 days we'd be there, but if I caught some fish, I would plan to eat it. I hiked from my truck about a mile into the forest until I was near enough to the lake. I set up my campsite in a comfortable little opening, and I brought Reggie along with me to the lake to go fishing. I caught a couple smaller fish that weren't really worth trying to cook, so I threw them back in. Reggie kept looking into the forest at something, and his tail would stop wagging as if he locked onto something. It could have been any number of little animals that he heard or saw. He's well trained not to go running off though, so I don't keep him on a leash. After maybe an hour of fishing, we went for a hike around the lake.
Alright, nobody pick anything up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Campsite. I looked over to the other side. I saw what looked like a couple of people walking into the woods. They were so far away it was hard to tell, but they really did look like people. Right around where the campsite was. I didn't want to get robbed, so I told Reggie come on, and we made a quick pace back around the lake. When we got back to the campsite, my tent zipper was open. Someone had gone through it, no doubt. Surprisingly, nothing appeared to be missing though. Not that there was really much to steal beyond the fire pit and fishing supplies. Still, I knew I was right when I thought I saw people. The fact that they had gone through my campsite gave me the creeps. To be safe, I spent the next hour or so moving my campsite to a different spot a little further up the lake. Then I started chopping some wood to get a fire going in the fire pit. Once that was going, I fed Reggie, and then heated up some chili for dinner. Then we sat by the fire. I was writing in my journal when Reggie started barking at something in the forest. It was dark now, and I didn't really see anything beyond what the fire lit up. I looked out into the darkness, a little creeped out. On that note, I brought Reggie inside of the tent and went to put out the fire. If there were people out in these woods, I didn't really want to be advertising my location with the fire. I climbed into the sleeping bag. With my reading light next to me, I was reading my novel. Reggie's ears would repeatedly move as he was hearing things that I wasn't hearing. He kept looking around at the tent walls. I kept saying, "What is it, boy?" He started to growl. He heard something out there. It could have maybe been a deer, it could have maybe been a bear, or it could have been a person.
What did I just say?
I found the idea of a person being out there still in the dark to be more terrifying than a bear. Eventually, Reggie calmed down and put his head down. With that, I was uncomfortable and wanted the night to pass, so I turned off my lantern and went to sleep. I woke up hours later to Reggie growling and howling. I told him to be quiet. I listened, and I could hear someone whistling, the kind of whistling you do to a dog to get their attention. Reggie started growling again in response to it. Someone was actually out there at my campsite in the pitch black darkness, and I was scared shitless. The whistling turned to a clicking noise from someone's mouth. Then footsteps started getting closer to the tent, until they were right outside the tent. Then they stopped. Reggie was going ballistic howling, and I grabbed him and got him to be quiet without saying anything. Without the crackling of the fire, there was total silence apart from the wind. Reggie started growling again, looking in the direction of the zipper of the tent. Silence, until finally, another whistle from right outside the tent door. Reggie went ballistic again. I tried to fake a really deep, commanding voice and yelled, "You better get out of here, I have a gun." But my voice just came out shaky and scared sounding. The footsteps walked away from the tent at a slow, heavy pace until they faded away completely. That, or they simply stopped in their tracks not far from the tent, because Reggie kept growling on and off for like an hour after that. I couldn't sleep after that, but I was too terrified to leave the tent and pack up everything in the dark. My phone had no service in the middle of the forest, so it's not like I could even call a family member or friend to tell them about what's going on. And then, out in the distance, there was a woman's scream that probably echoed for miles. It sounded like a woman literally screaming for her life. This was the final straw. I grabbed Reggie, put on my boots, grabbed my flashlight, and ran. I ran the way I came all the way until I got to my truck. I still had no cell reception. I slept in my truck that night, and at dawn, I went back into the woods with Reggie back to the campsite. I collected all my things and disassembled my tent. I didn't even pay attention to if my things were gone through again. I was just in a rush to get out of there. Half an hour later, I had the truck loaded up and I was out of there. As soon as I had reception, I called this non-emergency police number that I found online to report a woman's scream and suspicious people around my campsite the night before. I don't know what became of any of that. I don't know what was going on in those woods, but I never returned to go camping there again.
Nice.
Nice story.
No, I don't have rights! Damn it!
Let's go!
Peak! You lucky bastard! You have rights!
Indeed I do.
Fuck!
That is very sad.
Bro, I have 106 at the lowest reason. Not because of that reason, because I'm really bad at playing him.
No, I mean, do you know when Shy Guy's old spawn?
Dog, are you okay?
Fuck you. Just checking my voice. It's just the top.
He's mine, Peanut. I didn't wait, bro.
I don't know where this fuck MTF elevator?
Gate B.
Sure, I think he's got that.
Yeah.
Like, kaboom. That's how he dies. Kaboom boom.
God damn.
Pluto, I got your ass.
I'm not winning that shit. I'm not winning that shit.
What the f- you see this? You see that? You see this? That is sick.
Fuck. We're so bad.
No, please don't. Oh wait, what's up with your skin, bro?